Well. Hello, everybody. I see we got a couple of people in here at least. So we'll give it just a minute for anybody else that's planning on showing up that maybe a little delayed to get here. So feel free to drop a comment, questions, or whatever you got going on. This afternoon, I'm going to be doing, I'm actually working on a little order I got from a friend of mine. And I decided that instead of just knocking this order out and doing it like I normally would, since I've got the new Aliencell in, I released that video yesterday about the Aliencell. I had a lot of people asking me questions about how well does it work with lightburn. And so, I can sit here and tell you all day long how well it works with lightburn, but the best way for you guys to understand it is just to see it in action. We're going to be doing this live. I've been using it in lightburn and it's worked pretty well. Haven't had any problems. But just so that you guys know that it's not the magic of editing when you watch my videos, which hopefully you trust me more than that. But just so you know, it's not the magic of editing. You can see what's going on with it. CBG Plus says good evening from bitter cold Wisconsin. I'm guessing that is. Yeah, it's not that cold here today. I think it's like 70 outside. So yeah, it's t-shirt weather here. On the negative side of it is we have these invasive, they look like ladybugs, but they're not ladybugs. They're like Chinese beetles of some type. They bite, they're just terrible. And when it starts getting this time of the year, they like get like in your vehicle, in your house, they get everywhere. Me and Brandy have been lucky, and we found that they do not like Bronco stable spray, which is actually designed for horse stables to keep the flies out. Apparently they don't like that, so we've been spraying fly spray everywhere to hopefully try to keep them pushed back. So far so good. The Amazon lady pulled up earlier and got out of the car and was just swatting and everything, and her white Amazon delivery vehicle was covered. Like, they were all around the doors, they were everywhere. Because these things gravitate towards lighter colors for some reason, like a white car or a white house. Like if you're outside of your house is white, they're everywhere. So yeah, but that's what we're going to be doing today. I got an order from a lady wanting some, I guess you could like Christmas ornaments. That's what she's calling it. And it's just a last minute order. She's a friend of mine. So I was like, you know what? I'm kind of taking it easy today, not doing a whole lot. And that's a project I can do with this machine. So why not? 20s in Cleveland? No, thank you. I don't know that I could survive in a place where it got that cold and stayed cold like a lot. I'm just not used to it. Like, we wear t-shirts here. I probably would say 11 months out of the year, you could wear a t-shirt. There's probably a total of 30 to 31 days a year that you're not going to want to be outside in a t-shirt. But other than that, yeah, about 11 months out of the year. So we have lake flies here in the summer. They actually use plows on them bridges. Oh, wow. That's crazy. 16 degrees in Fish Lake, Indiana. What's up, Steve? Steve says I wear t-shirts every day just on the first layer. Yeah, well, I only wear one layer. So, but anyway, yeah, let's jump over here. Now it seems like we got a few people here. It's been a couple of minutes, so if folks hadn't made it in, they can watch the replay or catch up later. But I'll go ahead and get this knocked out. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them up there. I'll try to keep track of those as we're working. I'm going to try to keep you guys up there and then my work down here on the other monitor. So hopefully it'll work out. But I'm going to drop you guys down here to the bottom screen and show you what everything looks like so far. So here we go. Let's get started. All right. Now, there's a little witchcraft that goes into this. I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but yes, I'm operating this machine right now. I'm going to go ahead and move it around a little bit just to show you. I'm operating this machine in lightburn, but you will notice that I'm also got the little preview camera pulled up over there through Aliencell software. And I didn't know it did this. This was not something that I was aware of, that you could actually do it. But you can control the machine with lightburn and still have Alienware software connected to it if you've got it running off of Wi-Fi. And I currently am connected to it through Wi-Fi here with lightburn. And I'll go into my device setup here and show you how I've got it set up. So the machine profile, and I'm just going to go in and edit. You can see here it is set up as a GRBL machine. I have it set as Ethernet TCP connection because it's assigned an IP address when you connect it to the Wi-Fi. Now, 2 caveats that I will add to this for you in case you're planning on getting this machine. You have to be on the same Wi-Fi router, your computer and your machine, from what I can tell, because I have 2 or 3 different SSIDs out here that use different access points. And if I don't connect to the same SSID with my computer and this machine, even though they're all controlled by the same router at the end of the line, if I don't connect to those 2 Wi-Fi networks, it's having some issues locating the machine. But as long as you do that, you're good. And the second thing that I would highly recommend is that once you connect your machine using their software to your network, you assign it a static IP. And whatever that static IP address is what goes here. So when you're setting the machine up, so before you try to set it up on lightburn, go ahead and connect it to the Wi-Fi and create a static IP. And then you'll put that IP address right here. And then once you do that, it's the same as any other machine on the market. I just now noticed this thing's set to millimeters per minute. I prefer to use those. So I'm going to change that. So, yeah. And so it's pretty much, it's just like any other machine, except for you're going to use Ethernet TCP connection instead of USB. So now I got to switch back over to the machine, and you'll notice when you connect it to it in lightburn, what you end up getting is, yeah, there it goes. You'll see this little green bar pop up down here, and it'll say ready. And you really, to be honest, there's not a whole lot of other stuff other than this little bit of traffic between the machine and everything. But you can go in here and move it because the machine doesn't make a noise. It doesn't beep. It doesn't do anything when you connect it to lightburn. So you kind of more or less just have to know that when you see this green bar down here pop up, that it's connected. Now, you were to ask, how do you go about setting the focus? Because this machine does have autofocus. And so the way that it works in their software to where it automatically does do a probe before each job, lightburn doesn't seem to do that. But what you can do is use the navigation button here to move the machine to wherever the material is. And I'll move it like close to the camera so you guys can see what happens. You can move it like really close to the camera there. And so on that material, all I've got to do is hit this little macro button right here. It says focus. It's going to run to the back and it's going to set that probe foot. It's going to go back there and it's going to set it. Once it gets it set, it's going to come back out into the work area where I told it to set the focus. Wherever I was at when I said set the focus, it's going to come back to there. It's going to probe down. It's going to touch off. Once it touches off, that gives it its measurements and everything, and it's going to go back and reset the little foot, the little probe foot. Once it does that, it comes back to where you left it. The focus is set and it's ready to go. The only thing that I have noticed is this progress bar. And they've said that they're still working with lightburn to polish everything up, but this doesn't seem to affect anything other than just annoy my OCD. Because I can still move the machine. Well, I thought I could. But if you hit stop there, then you can go back to doing what you want to do. So I'm not real sure what that little progress bar thing is. That's probably some coding that needs to be tweaked a little bit in all of that stream from starting the stuff. Because you see that, that little command right there that looks like it's in Chinese. I'm guessing that's what's causing it to hang up. But other than that, that's the only glitchy thing that I can think of that I have found that I can mention. So let me go up here and check with the questions and see what we got going on so far. 4 degrees with negative 15 wind chill. No, thank you. CBG is asking who makes Aliencell. Aliencell is the company. I don't know if they have a parent company or whatever, but as far as like if you search for their stuff, it's going to be under Aliencell. Aliencell is the name of the company. The model of the machine is the X1 that I've got over here. They also make all the peripherals to go with the machine. They have a fume extractor. They've even got a little handheld vacuum that they've made to clean up the crumbs with. I didn't pay attention to that until today. I was looking through some of their materials, but they're going to have basically a whole ecosystem around this machine. So that's going to be pretty cool. Let's see what else. David Gilbert says hello from Calera. Hello, how are you, David? Yes, you can, CBG, you can use a USB connection if you choose. USB works fine. I like testing the Wi-Fi because most lightburn operated machines will not work over Wi-Fi. And so to me, USB is a no-brainer. It's going to work, but it does kind of tether you to the machine. The fact that I can work this one through Wi-Fi and through wireless, to me, it's a pretty big deal. So that's why I want to test that, is just to see how reliable it is and how well it works. And so far, I haven't had any issues. Like I've got both the Aliencell software is connected right now. I mean, I don't have the machine. I don't have an active job going, but you have to open this window to be able to get to the live view. And I've got that live view pulled up and got it running. With the live view, I will show you this too while we're at it. I wonder if it'll let me. Where's my mouse? My mouse is getting lost. All right, never mind. I was going to try to pull that screen back down here, but I can't. I guess because I got that screen capture going, I can't see my mouse up there. But with the live view, you can actually turn the lights off and on it. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff in there also. So far, let's see what else we got going. Hey, I can get clothes now, as long as I don't stay out in it too much. Led Zepp's asking, in general, how does the relationship between lightburn and laser manufacturers work? Is it a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type relationship? If not, who pays for the development? I'm not 100% sure on that. I know in order to adapt it, there has to be some commands and some information exchange between the two. Lightburn does want their machines to be, from a business perspective, they do want their machines to be, their software to be compatible with, especially if it's going to be a really good selling machine. But, there does come a point where it's diminishing returns if it takes too long to develop it. So far, it seems that other than the camera right now, everything seems to work with it. The little camera up here in the corner of the screen is this little guy up here is I'm recording that from another tab, so that's not actually in Lightburn. But other than the overhead camera, because this one's got 2 cameras that are calibrated and stitched together and all that, everything else seems to be working fine. And with this little job I've got tonight, although their software isn't awful, and we'll touch on it before we leave in case you want to see it, I feel more comfortable designing files in Lightburn. And so for this particular job, I decided to go with Lightburn. So let's go ahead and let me get this thing thrown together and we'll burn out a prototype real quick. I just want to kind of show you guys how it worked. And, you'll get to see a real simple file be created also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import a image. This is the image that the lady has sent me, and she said, can you make me something similar to this? And, she's a friend of mine. So I was like, yeah, that looks pretty simple. It does kind of mess with my OCD that whoever made this one did this. So I asked her, I was like, I mean, this one, the line work's kind of messy on this one. Does it need to be like that? Or is that intentional or what? So I haven't heard anything back from her. So I'm just going to, I'm just going to not, I'm just going to not worry about that. We're just going to try to design it to look similar to it and then go from there. So first off, I want to make me a little circle here, and this one's kind of jagged, so there's going to be some editing that I'm going to have to do to make it do that, which I'm not a fan of. But, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to have to convert this to a path so that I can edit the nodes. All right, so I'm just going to kind of make this one a little wonky on purpose, which it like totally goes against all of my, like, this is not natural for me. Just so y'all guys know, I'm going to insert a couple of nodes around the corners here, and just, like I said, I'm making it wonky on purpose, which is just odd. But it's the way she sent it to me. So I'm like, you know what? I'll push back my OCD and I'll just go for being task oriented, and we'll try to make this wonky. There we go. Well, I think that's good enough. So I'm going to change this over to a line, and I'm just going to offset that thing. What do y'all think? 3 millimeters? I think 3. No, it's going to take more than that. Let's do it. Well, actually, because my design's kind of big, so we'll go 4 millimeters maybe. Okay, because I can scale it. There we go. Oh, somebody forgot to turn off the delete. There we go. All right, so I'm going to group those guys together. Change that to a fill now. So there's my little wonky shape that I'm going to put in the center. Yeah, I thought about tracing, but if you look, let me show you something. These stuff like this, you try tracing something like this, you get all these little, and to me, that's annoying. And then you're going to have these double lines, and not to mention somebody else made that. I'm not going to copy it completely. I'm just going to use it for inspiration. So they got that one. These are a little better. These don't mess with me as bad because I can literally just like kind of throw me a little shape right there, and then do me another offset right there. Boom, I'm done on that one. So that one, fairly easy enough. Fairly easy enough. Let me go ahead and group that. That should have done it. A Boolean. All right, so to get those around the edge, I mean, there's a couple of ways you could do this. You could just do it manually, since this is kind of a messy design and it's got these gaps and stuff. You could just like throw them around there. Like literally, to make this one look like that one, I've got to kind of throw my OCD to the side for a moment to make it look like that, because that would have never been something I would have done. So I'm gonna hope that she wants it, not like that. So I'm gonna hold shift and I'm gonna make myself a circular shape here. I'm gonna change it to a tool line. I'm gonna bring it down and kind of center it. See, this is why I hate odd shapes, because now, even though I center this, it's not going to look centered. So, and I hate that when they did that last update, I accidentally create these little boxes so much now. All right, so now the easy money on this one is just to click that one, hold control, click that one, and then they moved my tool around. So y'all bear with me, because I'm having to learn where everything has been moved to now. There it is. Copy a long path. Because when they did those updates, they like moved my stuff around. I got to rotate those. All right. So now, how many we got on that one? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll do like 10. So there's kind of, to me, that looks good. I mean, let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 10. I put 10. So, yeah. That looks pretty awesome, if you ask me, right there. Now I don't have this little janky thing going on here, but we're gonna hope that she didn't like need that. Like that's not a requirement because that's really gonna mess with me if I do. So now get this out of the way. All I gotta do is over that, do a little offset right here. This is gonna give me a cut line basically. I'm gonna bring that cut line out just a little till they touch about right there. Okay. Now that needs to be changed over to cut. So there we are. Let's see. Let's resize this. She said the size of an ornament. So what are we now? 100 by 100. Let me see how big that's going to look. About 100 by 100. Yeah, that's about right. 100 by 100. That's about ornament sized. Now, I do like she's wanting this to be an ornament. They put like a little hole right there for their design. I guess I could do it that way. Shift. If I can get a 3mm hole to fit there, I'll be all right. 3mm is plenty for a piece of wire or string or something. Yeah, that'll fit. So we hold Control. We'll select this outer shape. I'm just going to align these guys. So yeah, there we are. That part is done. Now for some text, and I'm hoping that the text is right. But oops, see that's why I wish it would automatically default back. There's probably a button I need to engage to have it automatically default back. So now I got to put some troop text in there with this 9030. I'm guessing they added that. That kind of looks like they added that to it because she sent me that and said, "Could you make this like for me?" Troop, and then 9030. Oh, somebody's holding down shift there. So we're going to change that first of all to there, and then the text. Let's see what we got. What we got here. Need something kind of cool, kind of cute, not too cute. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to shrink that down awful small. Put it about, let's see, I can use that odd shape to my benefit. Let's try to center it, see what it looks like. It's a little close to the edge. So I'm going to bring that down just a couple of millimeters. There we go. It's technically centered left to right, but up and down, I moved it down to take advantage of that wide spot. So there we go. I think that works. And see, I can actually take and hide my little tool line now. I'll leave it in there in case I ever need it, but you can turn that off so it's not visible. And then that's got, it's got this. So yeah, there we go. So I can delete my inspiration now. And I think I had this set at 100. That's what I decided on. So that should make that about that big. So we'll group all those together so that we can replicate them if I need to. I'm just going to do a prototype for now. I do have a bunch of material in this machine. So just so y'all guys can see it, I'm going to put engrave like right here because I've got the whole workspace covered. And coincidentally, the workspace of this machine will hold 2 of my small squares that I cut when I break down my material. So I've got that there. 30 and 60. Have I created a material library yet for this? I don't think I have. Where is my material library? I don't think I have. No, I have not. Let's see. 30, 300 at 60, 250 millimeter. Let's see. This is wood, so we don't need that. Turn it down to 127. 60% at 300. Yeah. We'll do 100. Oh, that's one thing too. The air assist. I don't know that I'm going to have varying air assist. It may be wide open. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But I am going to run the air assist just so I don't have to worry about the nozzle getting dirty. This material's been cutting really well at 10. So I'm going to run it at 10, assuming that, you know, it unleashes it completely with my software here with using lightburn. We'll sort cuts last. Yeah, I think we're good there. Now we'll frame it and we'll see if I can see it up in the little window up there. So we'll frame it up. Oh, what'd that pop up and say over there? Hang on, I can't see that top window. Stand by. It didn't frame. Okay. So, is it because I got the window open or wait a minute? Now it's doing something. What are we doing? We just rehoming? All right, so let me try the other frame. Uh-oh. Lightburn has exited. Not sure what we got going on here, so we may have a glitch. So that's no good. Oh, wrong screen. Give me just a second here. Let me get all my screens fixed. I messed all my screens up trying to see everything. All right, got that one up there. Lightburn. Okay, now. All right, so let me disconnect from the machine here and see if I can. Well, first of all, let me save this file. I'm just gonna save it in my downloads real quick. I'll save it there just in case, so that nothing happens with it. So I'm gonna close Lightburn out and open it back up and see what happens. I don't know what happened there. It did not like the frame. So we'll go back to the Aliencell. Lightburn is not in an idle state. Cannot connect. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to close my Aliencell software, guys. Let me close that out. Okay, it beeped on me now. So yeah, I think that was the problem. So let's file, recent project. All right, so I don't know that I'm gonna be able to use that other camera. So let me get my webcam out here. Let's see if I can see that one there. Is it looking the right direction? Yeah, it's looking the right direction. Okay, so now let me see if I can. Now that I've got their software cut off, let me see if it works better now. No. Still not wanting the frame. Well, that is unfortunate. What have we got going on today? Absolute coordinates. Let me power the machine off and back on. Maybe I gotta cause an error with all my software. Well, at least I can go back and watch this video. If it's a problem. It's saying, let me get you over here where you can see it. It's saying its device is not in an idle state. So I'm not sure what all that's about. I am, however, just in case, going to go ahead and export this file here. So let's do that. So I'm going to right-click all of that file, export. I'm going to export it as a SVG. Worst case, I'm going to go over there and cut it with their software. All right, not in an idle state. Let me see if I can hit home here. All right, what's it doing? Oh, I can't see it going that direction. All right, it did something. So maybe if I just send it. I'm going to try to frame it one more time. If it does it, I'm going to send it and see what happens. So let me see if I can frame it again. I'm going to use rubber band frame this time. It beeped. It says okay. But it didn't do nothing. All right. Let's try another frame. It says okay, but it ain't doing nothing. All right, we're just going to send it. Nope, I done hung it up. Hang on, let me go look at that. Let me go look at the front of the machine at the little controller. All right, well, I'm just gonna send it because I think that's where, because I haven't had this problem, so I'm thinking that I've just been sending it and not framing. See this, guys. This is the joy of testing new stuff. All right, so I think it did its little homing thing it's supposed to do. Hang on. Yeah, you can see that. You can see the crosshair up there. So it did its little homing thing it's supposed to do. I'm going to move it out into the work area. All right, I'm going to set the focus, which is going to run over to the corner. It's going to set the little probe. Then it's going to come back. Then it's going to probe. Then it's going to go back, reset the probe. All right, so we're going to forego any kind of framing. We finna just make some smoke because, all right. So got that done. Had to hit stop because it hangs up after you do the probing for some reason. I'm just going to send it. I'm going to send it. See what happens. Well. Okay, so apparently, I don't know if it was an update or what, but something is not working. Let me try plugging. I guess I could try plugging the USB up, but we're not going to do that today. I'll reach out to them and send them this video and maybe this. I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's been doing much better. So there we go. Well, a little disappointing there. But luckily, we saved the file. So let's go open up Aliencell. Like I said, one problem that I have with a lot of these new machines is that if you don't like using their software, you may regret it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up their camera. See, it's still hung up here. Maybe that's what was causing it. Hang on. Stop. Confirm. Let's see what's on the screen. All right, so I just restarted the machine. We'll give it a second here. But yeah, now that I think about it, not 100% sure what the deal is with that. All right, so is my machine back online yet? All right, so let's pull this up. Hang on. I got to get, when I'm doing screen capture, for some reason, it won't let me mess with my other little screen up here. So there we go. Whew, Lord. Oh, wrong tab, wrong tab, wrong tab. All right, let me get this up here where it's supposed to be. All right, geez. Oh. All right. So now that was a pain. So let's go over here. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Import. And I saved it in my downloads. There we go. Now comes the fun part because I haven't done a whole lot of reassignments and stuff in here. All right, so the red layer, wait a minute, hang on. Do I got tags? Yes, I do got tags. So the red layer, and then the black layer. So the red layer is cut, custom, 4.7 millimeter rugby. All right, and the black layer is engrave. 100%. Choose 50. Give a nice dark engrave. This is something I'm having to get used to here. This whole feel. You have to have this feel turned on, or it makes it like a line. That's kind of like, I don't know. I'm having to learn that. But once I get that on there, should be good. I can go up here, hit the preview button. It's going to show you what it's going to do, all that good stuff. Shows you the travel tool path. So that's pretty handy. Like I said, their software works pretty fluid with it, but yeah. So yeah, I think, oh, we back up to where I can see. I did tell them that this button right here for the capture needs to be here because where it's at right now, if you zoom in, that button disappears. So like if I zoom in right now, my screen capture button is gone. So they need to take that and put that button like right here. So there's my material. So I'm going to grab that and I'm going to pull it down here out of the way. I'll put it not too close to the edge, not right there. That way you guys can see it. The only thing that I'm not 100% sure is, does it start at the bottom or does it start at the top when it does the engrave? So we'll see which one it does first here. What window is that? That's, why have I got a window and a window? Hang on just a second, guys. Let me see what this is. What's going up with that? We'll change that. All right, I'll just get rid of that. So that should be it. Let's do framing this way. Let me put my other camera on. So I'm going to frame it with their software now. All right. So yeah, worked out really nice. And the cool thing about it is like right now, so I need to put this on honeycomb first of all. The focus is set to auto. So when I send this job over to the machine, it is going to focus before it runs the job. But if you look on the screen, this is part of the reason why I like using their software with this machine. That little red X you see right there, that X right here in the software is that X right there that you see. That's where that crosshair is pointing on the laser, is right here in the software. So that's why I say, if you get this machine, try to use their software. It seems to be working pretty well. But if you're just dead set on lightburn, like I said, they're still working with lightburn folks to get it implemented, but you never know what level of implementation there's going to be. So we'll go from there. But anyway, so I'm going to hit the process button. And now I've got to go hit the button on the machine. But I'm going to take and move you guys over to the camera right there. See if I can get a better view. I can get a better view here. There we go.
Perimeter alert, driveway.
So I hit the button on the machine. It does a little like left-right system test. And now it's going to set the focus because that light's right in the way. So now it's just going to sit there and do its little rocking. I will pull up. I'm going to show you guys. I will pull up the other camera so you guys can see that. This is what I think is pretty cool about it too. Like, there's your camera, and it tells you like an estimation of how long the job's going to last. And you can turn, like, if I wanted to turn the lights out, you can turn the lights out in the machine. Turn them on. The only thing I haven't done yet is figured out how exactly. I know it's got to be doing it over IP. Like, it's got to be have that camera set up as a camera over an IP address. If I can figure out what port to set, I could technically set that thing up as like a webcam, a camera over IP address. But I haven't played with it that much. But the machine's doing a pretty good job so far. Way too much traffic in and out of my driveway this afternoon. But anybody got any more questions? Yeah, Led is saying that I like the form of this machine. Once it's fully developed and working with, it'll be a winner. Never a fan of proprietary software. Yeah, well, I agree, but you really can't, like I said, you really can't 100% count on what Lightburn is willing to do for this machine unless they get, like I said, they may get paid. They may say, hey, we'll make Lightburn work with it for X amount of dollars. I don't know how that works on the back end, but I do know that from Lightburn's perspective, unless the machine is a really hot seller, I don't know that they're going to attempt it. And if they do, I need to turn my other fan on too, because I've got 20 foot of run on the hose. So the fan that's in the machine does a good job until my hose gets filled with smoke, and then that's it. So I have to turn my assist fan on, and that's just because of the way I've got my exhaust set up for my testing equipment. Because none of this is permanent, and so I just use a really long hose, and I use an assist fan right at the wall that pulls it out and blows it out the wall. So. But yeah, hopefully Lightburn will do more work with this machine and get it more compatible. Like I said, it was working. I don't know if it was an firmware update or a Lightburn update that got me or what, but the other day I did a power test with it. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I kind of expect it to be a little rough with Lightburn for a little while until they get all the bugs worked out of it. But like I said, I can always design, export, and bring it over. You saw how easy it was to assign the power settings if you exported as a layered out SVG. Okay, the air assist sounds like it kicked up pretty good. But yeah, that thing's throwing some smoke now. But yeah, it's been doing a pretty good job. I don't know what I got my air assist set to on that layer. I didn't think about that because it does not sound like my air assist is wide open. The cool thing with this machine is too, you can set varying levels of air assist on the layer. So like if you've got a material that doesn't do well with a lot of air, or if it doesn't do well with a little bit of air, you can change that and make it more specific. So let me go look at that and see if that cut through all the way and everything. Not quite. Gonna have to slow that down just a bit. All right, so let's go over here to our settings and click on the cut. At 110, so we'll slow that down to about 7. That's what I usually end up having to run with the other 40 watts, so that's what we'll run here. But I'm going to check. I do need to check my air assist. So with this, where's my advanced? Oh, there it is. Air assist was at 10%. So yeah. So I'm going to take the air assist. I'm going to run it up to 100% because I need it to be really good. Also in their software, like right here, I can tell it to lower the focus. And since we're cutting on this layer, and I know that this is 4.7 millimeter material, I can tell it to set the focus down 2.35 millimeters. And that's going to bring my focal point into the middle of the material. So it's going to make it a little more efficient as far as cutting goes. And I'm going to leave it at 1 pass. But in order to see all of these settings, you have to go up here and hit that advanced tab to open those up. Now, since I found out a while ago, I did not have this saved into the material settings on here on the material library. Once you get this, and you can even add kerf offset, you can add tabs to it. So the software's got some really powerful built-in tools. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up here and I want to save this so that next time I use this material, I don't have to fool with setting all that. Now, one thing I have learned with this material library, you cannot have spaces. So you got to go in here, and I'm sure they'll fix that. I've mentioned it to them already. So you got to go in here and you got to put you some, I use underscores because it just messes with my OCD for it not to at least have a space there. So if you use an underscore, put your name in there, then you hit confirm. So now that material is in, well, actually, did I have it? Oh, no, that's where I just put it in there. Isn't it? Yeah, that's the same one. So now that material is in there. So next time when I go to change it, I can just select that material. So now I have it set to 7 millimeters a second. I'm going to update the picture and see this is where I wish that button was up here. So I didn't have to scroll around looking for it. So I'm going to update the photo. There are occasions to where I hit the update button and I have to hit it twice. I don't know if it's a regular thing. Yeah, see there? I don't see that image. So hit it again. It should show up this time. For some reason, the capture button, the past couple of days, I've been having to hit it twice to get it to go through. Yeah, there it is. So I don't know what's causing that. Oh. It's not grouped. So I'm going to group this together. And then we'll just do this one right above that one. Process. And I got to push the button. All right, so I'll open up the little camera here so you guys can see it again. So it's going to go through the whole ritual again because I put it on auto. So it's going to set the focus before it does the cut. So that's it. The cool thing about it is it's kind of foolproof on that because even though I forgot to set the focus, which I said it a while ago, but it's going to set the focus automatically. And now it's going to go in here and do our engraving. And once it finishes the engrave, see, it's only on like 10% on the air assist for the engrave. You can tell it by the sound of it. It kind of sounds like a boat motor or something running. Like it is not a quiet air assist pump. I'll tell you guys that. But when the air assist is running, it's like, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it's kind of like a little little boat motor or something. But I did change the air assist to 100% for the cut, so we'll see what that is. Duck Wood Designs, it came on. The air assist came on, or was coming on, but there's still a lot of work to do with the lightburn setup. I had it doing more stuff the other day, I'm pretty sure, but it may just be because I started a live video and it decided it didn't want to do it. Yeah, well, I've been cutting this plywood for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now. And I've been doing pretty good with 10 millimeters a second. But sometimes with this stuff, you get those sheets that just want to be stubborn. So 7 should cut it out, especially since I turned the air assist up. But anyway, we'll let that run for a few minutes. It's, like I said, it's a pretty solid machine. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it's able to do once they get all the bugs worked out of the, there's a few little things in the software, and there's a lot of room for improvement with lightburn. But I will say that they have been very receptive, and I'm trying to pull the email up. I don't want y'all seeing all my emails. They've been very receptive with fixing some of these things. I sent them a list of things the other day with having the issue with the driver and everything, and they've been really, really like making an effort to get that fixed. Yeah, there was a couple of issues in the instruction manual that I brought to their attention. The Wi-Fi issues, and I think that was because of the having to be having some issues if it stayed off for a day or two because of the IP address, where I had to do a fixed IP address. They saying that they're going to address that to try to make that easier also. Lightburn does not recognize the camera. There's a problem with Lightburn protocol, but they said they are working with Lightburn to come up with some solutions to some of that. Yeah. And the zoom in on the canvas is going to be getting a little bit more fluid. That was the thing with the button being hidden. They're saying that they're going to address that as well. So yeah, they've been very receptive. I'm pleased. I'm pleased with that. I've been running it off of Wi-Fi. Like I said, the Lightburn thing too. I guess I need to probably try to do it with USB and see if there's any difference. That could be a problem. Matter of fact, did I have it on Wi-Fi the other day? Maybe we'll try that in just a second. Let me get this prototype done first. And you can see now it's doing the cut. The air assist does seem to be a little more aggressive this time. But you can see right here over on, well, I guess you can't, hang on, let me move those comments out of the way. You can see them. Like down in here, you can actually see that I'm connected to the Wi-Fi network. And it's got a lot of the information about the machine, which, that's not something that's critical for me to see when I'm working on the job. But, it is there. And like I said, you can turn the lights off and turn the light on. It's kind of neat. Like I said, I like being able to view this camera. Oh, that seems to be cutting it out. It looks like it's see if I can see it drop. Yep, there we go. So the one thing I will tell you with this machine, if you get one, when it quits running, just because it's quit running, give it a second before you open the lid until it says task completed, or on the screen it says task completed. Because it does have like a period of time where the fan runs and everything to kind of purge all of the smoke out of the enclosure. So you want to let that get done first. So, like the fan on the machine is still running. I don't know if you can hear it or not. But the fan, the main exhaust fans will cut off, but it takes them a little while. There they go. It finally cut off just now. So So there we are, straight off of the machine with no touching. And you can try to brush it a little bit. Yeah, brush ain't gonna cut it. That's gonna need a little bit of sandpaper. But there's the design. It's cut out. And all together, let's see if I gotta make sure my hand's clean. All right, hand's pretty clean. All together, it does a good job. I'm gonna run my finger around the whole outside perimeter of it. It does a good job of staying relatively clean on the cut. So it's not bad. Let me go over here and hit this with the sander for just a second. Okay, I forgot about that being loud. I hope the noise filter caught it. All right, somebody needs to change the sandpaper out on the sander. It's in bad shape. Apparently, I was doing something with sharp edges last, but there's the design. Got it done. It's a prototype. I'll take a picture of this and send it to her. And once she gives me the seal of approval, then I'll burn the rest of them, because I forgot how many she wanted, but she wanted multiple. So let me get this software pulled out of the way. Let's go back down here for a second. All right, so I'm going to go up here and update the photo again. See, that needs to be up here. I just, because when I'm down here working, and it'd be easier if it was right there. So update the photo. Let's see if it does it on the first shot this time. It's been taken 2 times. And I don't know if that's a network thing or just a glitch. I'm not sure. Yeah, see, no photo. Do it again. I heard a beep from the machine this time. It could be that the machine is going to sleep, and that first attempt wakes it up, and then the second attempt actually takes the picture. Because I have noticed that the screen goes off periodically. So it could be like a power saving feature that needs to be adjusted, possibly. But you can see the camera, it's pretty close. But as always, guys, don't take what the camera says to be 100% true. Now, like when you're cutting stuff out like this, you can see here, if you leave yourself a few millimeters of margin of error, you're good. I mean, it makes really, like if I wanted to cut another one of these, I could take this one and slide it over here. And with relative, confidence, I could know that it's not going to hit one of these other two. Now, it may be a millimeter or two closer to them or further away from them, but that's what a camera is good for. It just makes it makes it a little smoother, a little easier to do stuff like that. Now, with this machine, you can go over there and move the machine out into the work area. And matter of fact, let me reach over there and do that. And you can move the laser head and know exactly where that laser head is. So I put the laser head right on top of where my design is, but see there? See that little crosshair? That is where that crosshair in the machine right now, that's where it's sitting. So I can actually use that. Like it'll grab a hold to this little box, and you can like put the corner of your box right there and allow you to do it that way. Or you can put it in the middle. Like you can say, okay, I want the center of my design there. You can drop it in the middle. Like it's pretty handy. That is pretty cool. Because even if you don't use the camera, that gives you the ability to kind of Like right here, you can say, okay, it's centered. And you get these little helpers in the form of that little dot, like sticks to places. So I can go to middle here. It'll line you up. You can go down here. So, I mean, there's a lot of features in their software that I really, really like. So even though I'm a lightburn kind of fanatic, this is definitely not bad. Now, since we are doing this as a job, I am going to save this. And I haven't quite figured out, you save it, but you have to save it to, like, I'm going to save it to my downloads for right now. I'll save it in her folder here in a little bit, but I'll reopen it here in a little bit and save it where I want it. But there we go. And so now when I close this, now I have the ornament and my bamboo cutting board jig that I built. So it's pretty decent. Like I said, it is not without bugs, obviously, but it's pretty decent. I'm going to close all of this. All right, and let me find a USB cable that'll reach it, and I'm gonna see if there's a difference in lightburn with USB. I swear, I did not have these issues the other day. And this is my really long USB cable. So, and just to make sure, I'm going straight to the computer. And I'm not going to go through a hub. That way, you don't have to worry about it. So, back down to the bottom screen. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going into my devices here. I don't want to delete that one because that way I can test it later. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to export that one to my downloads. Oh. And then I'm going to import it back in here. But the one that I import, I'm going to change the way that it works. I'm going to change it over to a USB version and rename it. So I'm going to edit GRBL. I'll change this one to USB. Next. And I'm going to name this one 40 watt, but I'm going to name it USB. Millimeters per second. Next. Sure. Why not? Next. Finish. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to swap over to Aliencell USB. I don't think it's going to be COM6. All right. So I'm going to go to Device Manager here. And I'm going to go down here and look at ports. I think it may be 6. Okay. So let's see what happens. Well, that didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. Waiting for connection. Okay. Machine idle. Homing. I hear it. So yeah, it was on 3. Okay. So now let's see if we can move it around. Oh, can't see nothing in that. Hang on. All right. So I'm going to go to the Move tab. Let's see. Right step. All right. Left step. Up. Down. All right. Z-axis down. All right. Home. All right. So I'm going to draw just like a little square or rectangle down here in the bottom. Set it as a cut. So now let's try sending a frame using USB. See what happens. Okay, that's why I used it the other day in Lightburn. I knew I did. Okay, so let's see. I got that set to 10 millimeters a second, 100% power. So let me change that to 8. So apparently the wireless is needing some work. All right, macro focus. What makes me feel better, because I knew darn well, I was like, man, I have been running this thing for I knew I'd run it for 2 or 3 days just in Lightburn. And I'm like, why is it not working now? But I guess I swapped it. Okay. All right. So now we've got it. The focus is set. I'm going to go ahead and. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And that's just a rectangle. If as long as this works out, no problems, we'll go ahead and finish what we started with the file that I designed. And just remember, guys, even though apparently it will work somewhat through Wi-Fi, it does not like it with Lightburn. Yeah, that cut, I see it. Yeah, that cut out really good. All right, so I set my little Logitech camera over in there. So here we go. I'm going to open up that file again. So file, open. This is the ornament that we designed. So no, I'm just going to bring it into here. So let's get away from all that. I think right there should be good. So let me navigate over there. See what that looks like. Okay. Let me frame there. See what happens. Oh yeah. So I'm on the material, all that good stuff. Do I got to focus again? I'm going to do it just to be sure, because I did open a new job. So I'm going to hit the focus button again. I am glad it's working better, because that was like blowing my mind, because I was like, I know darn well I used it. Okay. What are we doing now? Why are we? My focus, did it focus? Did I miss it? Okay. Something's up. Let me go look at the front of the machine. It just says Lightburn mode. All right, so why are we? Oh, wait a minute. I got to hit that stop. So did it focus like I told it to? Let me take it back out here. I don't recall seeing it probe. All right. Macro focus. Okay, so now it's not wanting to focus. I am hitting the focus button, and it is doing nothing. Oh, let's see if it'll frame. All right, so it frames. I wonder. Hey, let's just send it and see if it's see if it tries to move down or tries to focus or what happens here. So yeah, it's getting something's going on, because it's getting this progress bar right here is getting stopped. Yeah, something's janky. So disconnect and reconnect and see what happens. All right, so wasn't it 3? Yeah. Close lightburn. We power off the machine, power it back up. Something's going on, guys. Something's going on. Oh. The joys of testing new stuff. Which I do enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's like, because like right now we've got it. Like some of the functions work great on USB, some of the functions work great on wireless. It's just like, what's going on? All right, let's see what we got going on here. Did it home? So I'm going to go back down here, file, recent projects, ornament. All right, so let me go back to the camera, and I'm just going to hit the frame button and see what it does. Well, is it connected? Lightburn mode has exited. Please reestablish connection. So not sure what we got going on here today, guys. Waiting for connection. Homing. All right. Maybe I need to turn that home when connecting off. Maybe that's causing a problem because it wasn't on. So try to walk it out into the work area. All right. So that works. Now let's see if it'll focus this time. Okay. Yeah. So far, that's what it's supposed to do. Sit in the pin. See the little pin pop out. All right. It's going to come back over with the pin. It's going to go down and touch that. All right. Let's go back. Reset the pin. You know what? It could have been when I first powered. I need to delete that other Wi-Fi one, I think, because when I first powered Lightburn up, my frame, when I first powered Lightburn up, it could have tried to connect to the wireless one. So I think I need to delete that one before we continue, because since I know that it's not going to work, I'm going to save that one. I'm going to hit the start button here. I'm going to save that profile, but I'm going to delete it from my machine so that eliminates that, because it could be that the machine briefly was trying to connect that method. So you never know. You never know what it is. But this does work much better than the Wi-Fi, so we're going to do away with that other one once this finishes. I want to just go see. I just want to see this thing cut it out using Lightburn. That was the purpose of this video when we started. That blue light's a little excessive. That was the purpose of this video when we started, and we're gonna do that. So yeah, I hope this answers questions for you. Like I said, guys, anytime a machine is being built not specifically to work with Lightburn, you're going to have a few little places to where there's going to be some work needed to make everything work together. Now, I do think there's a benefit to their software as far as some of the utilities and the tools and the way that it works. I like that. But in a perfect world, I want a machine that I can use their software, or I can use Lightburn and do all the same stuff. That would be really awesome. With the remote camera, not using their software and being able to see that remote camera, I think that's that's not something that's going to work in Lightburn. But I'm kind of curious if Aliencell couldn't take and create like a small application that you could put on your computer to where it's kind of like a webcam viewer, so that you could actually open that and like just be viewing it without having to open their operating software. So that's probably something I'm going to recommend to them once they get the implementation to Lightburn worked out, is to have just like a little app that you can open up and you can see what is going on with your machine without having to have their operating software pulled up. I think that would be really cool. So yeah, so I do like that feature, because it's even when you're sitting over here doing the job, you know, being able to watch it just like with this, you know, camera I've got over there in the machine, being able to see that is better than not being able to see anything. Because now if there is a fire, or if the material gets caught and starts getting knocked around, or, you know, whatever the case may be, I can see it without having to lean over and look in the machine. So here goes the cut. I'm going to need to turn my assist air on for my exhaust. Like I said, it's not the machine's fault on that. It's got a nice fan setup, but it's trying to push that smoke through 20 foot of flex pipe. It's just a bit more than those fans were designed to do. The air assist is not coming on though. So whoever said that about the air assist not being compatible yet, that is accurate, because the air assist is not, you can hear it and it's not running over there right now. I need to put that up on high. I'll give that a minute to purge all that smoke out of there. The one thing that I will say is I know there's some little tiny cracks and so forth in that machine that's letting the air flow through there, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't need to, you know, make sure there's enough of an opening for the air to come into the enclosure, because it's sealed up pretty good. Let me go check on that and see how that turned out. What the heck? We didn't change that speed, did we? No. Air still set to 10. 8. You know what? I'm going to run on down to 7. That way I know it's going to cut out. All right. So let's take, to make this easy, since you don't have a camera, the easiest way to make sure you don't put it on top of the other one if your material's back in the same spot is duplicate that one, drag it over, get it about where you want it, and roll it. Well, there's a line in the material right there. I think I need it to go right there. Let's delete this first one now. Let me frame that one, see if it's going to miss it. Oh, no. No, I'm going to have to move that up and to the right a little bit. Frame it again. Okay, that's got me some space. I don't think I'm going to have to set the focus again. Hopefully I don't. I've got it set at 7 millimeters a second. All right, so let's send it. See what happens. Well, maybe it's not wanting to work with me here. Yeah, something's going on again. Oh, this is frustrating. Well, yeah, Lightburn is going to take some work, guys. It's still got a little ways to go before Lightburn is going to get my green thumb of approval. with this machine. It works somewhat. It's just got some bugs in it. All right, so we got it. It says it's connected. The module did move, so I'm gonna frame again. That's not wanting to frame. What in the holy mess is this? All right, so I'm gonna close lightburn. Open it back up. We're fixing that. We're fixing to just yeah, Duck Dud would. That would be the only way to use the air assist, would be to have to push the button on it, which is not something that, like I said, I'm not running it in lightburn until they get it completely fixed. I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I like lightburn, I will design in lightburn and export over to it, just like I did this today, because I'm not dealing with like the troubles that we've had in the past 15 minutes is not something that I want to deal with when I'm trying to do work. All right, so I'm going to open the projects. So I've got the design in there now. So I've got the design in the work area. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can hit frame again and see if it frames. If it doesn't frame this time, we're probably just going to call it. Okay, well, now it wants to frame. So I just needed a good reboot. All right, so now I got to set the focus. So I'm going to hit the focus button. Let's see if it does anything. All right, so that's what it's supposed to do. Let's drop the pin down. It's going to bring the pin over. It's going to probe. I wish that camera would reset its focus. It's going to go back. Change cameras for a second, see if it makes it refocus. No, it didn't. All right, so I guess we're good. Let's try hitting the start button and see if it'll go this time. If it don't, we're just going to call it. Oh, I hit start and it's saying busy. It doesn't look very busy. It does not look very busy at all. Come on, guys. Come on, come on. All right. So, close lightburn. Power machine off. Power machine off. Yeah, I was on the right COM port because it was doing everything except sending it. I mean, it was framing, it was doing everything right, but all right. And yes, the other one is gone. I only have one now. It's the regular Aliencell on the USB port. So the machine recognized it, did this little thing. All right, so now I'm going to open recent projects. So I got this where I need it. So let's frame that. Well, yeah, it's not wanting to frame, guys. It's being janky. Can I move it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let me change my port. All right, let me change it to where it doesn't home it connection. Oh, this is frustrating. Millimeters per second. No auto home. Yeah, I do the same thing. Designing, like I design CNC file, even just the like a lot of my drawings for Fusion 360, I design them in Lightburn and export them. All right, so it's showing that I got it connected again in Lightburn. I'm gonna run the laser out there in the work area if it'll go. All right, so got that. All right, now I'm gonna try to frame. All right, got that. So far so good. And now I'm going to switch over to the macros and I'm going to focus. Whew, come on, work with me here. Work with me. Yeah, LED, I've turned it off and on several times. It's you shouldn't have to do that. It's still got there's still some polishing needs to be done with Lightburn. Well, and like I said, they haven't made any bones about it that it has issues with Lightburn still. All right, frame again. Okay, so far so good. All right, so we did focus. It is framing. Now let's see if I can hit start. What happens? Start, and it just says 0%. Do I gotta hit the button? I didn't earlier. Yeah, it's not doing anything. All right. So much for that. It's just that. Wait a minute. Let me check one thing. Is it possible that the baud rate, that hasn't been an issue on most of the machines we've dealt with lately, but laser tools, device settings, basic settings, 11, 1500, 1000, 1 million, I mean. So let's see where we at. All right, let's see if I can hit a focus button now. What happens? Nah, it's hung up. All right, yeah, we're gonna scratch the Lightburn running it, guys. You see, there is still some issues with it. I was hoping it was gonna be better than that. Like I said, I have used it, and you see, it will work. Not consistently, but good news is, come back over here into their software, and device busy. What in the world? Oh, I gotta quit Lightburn mode. So yeah, the Lightburn mode was still active. So I've got that disconnected now and got it over back into their software. So close the cover before taking it. The cover's closed. What in the? Surely my little wire wasn't. I guess it was. That's on me, guys. Apparently, that little wire of my webcam was enough to make it think the cover was open. That is crazy sensitive. All right, so I got that in there. I'm gonna run one more with their software just to show you that the machine does work. It just don't like Lightburn right now. And we'll go over here to the little live view. It's going to set the focus first because I have it on auto on their software. So it's going to do the focus first. Yeah, I had the camera sitting over in there, and I had the cable just run across the under the lid and had to shut the lid on it. It was working fine in Lightburn, but their software is a little more particular, I guess. Or maybe Lightburn actually doesn't detect the door switches. But yeah, it would not let it. It wouldn't let it run. It kept saying the door wasn't shut, but it was shut. But it was shut on a USB cable. So the moral of the story that we've learned today, guys, is lightburn looks promising, but there's still some work that needs to be done. And I'm not knocking these guys because, I mean, technically it's not their software. That's up to lightburn to affect the changes that need to be made, and whether they pay them to do it or, you know, whatever the case may be, that's something they're going to have to work together on. Yeah, Michael's asking, are they going to make a riser base? Yeah, they're saying they are. That's what part of the email they told me, that they were going to address the limited Z-axis movement by way of a riser, which would be cool because right now you can take the honeycomb, the blade bed, the chrome tray out of it, and you can get maybe close to 3 inches if you lay it on the table beneath the machine. But I'm not 100% sure how you would go about making sure that I don't know if it would run with the chrome tray out. I haven't tested that yet. It obviously won't run without the door shut, or a USB cable run through the door. But yeah, so far, like I said, I like the machine. The software is different. If you're a diehard lightburn or go home type guy, it's probably not going to be anytime soon that's going to be 100%. Now, like I said, they are, as far as them working on things, they are working on it really aggressively. So we'll see. No, the camera wasn't causing a problem in Lightbird. I don't think. It shouldn't have, because it wouldn't do nothing. Well, now you got me wondering. Could the camera have been holding up? I mean, is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. So maybe we'll switch back over and give it one more try. I ain't going nowhere. It's just 447. I've got to be done here in time to see Ryan and M's live here in a little while over at our Ballard Design. So if you're not going over there, go check that out. See what they're up to tonight. We'll let this one finish. Just one more little run, showing you what the machine can do, and then we'll go back over it. I'll try it, but I'm not going to sit here all night playing whack-a-mole with it. Like I said, it's still in development. Well, we'll give it one more try, because that could be that Lightburn didn't recognize the signal coming from the limit switch on the door. So yeah, I mean, that is a possibility. So we'll go back and try again and see. Because I'm telling y'all, I've used it in Lightburn. Now, whether or not I just got lucky, I don't know. But I know I've did some speed and power tests with it. We go see what that air assist is set up to. That thing sounds like it sounds like a boat motor or a turkey. Like, but I will hand it to them. The air assist, it pumps out some pretty good volume. It's about time to do a cleaning video on it, I think. I've been running a good bit. It's been staying pretty clean. The nozzle and the inside of the machine's getting kind of dusty. Let's see, it takes the machine a few seconds before it actually, see there, it just says task completed on the screen. Now you can open the door. If you open the door too early, it'll holler at you. Yeah, that one turned out pretty decent. Like I said, it's the same design. I didn't change anything, so we're not going to go through the trouble sanding it and all that. All right, so now we want to close everything out. I've got the camera. I don't need to save that. I've got the camera hooked up. Let me get this comment out of the way. The camera is not under the door, so you don't have to worry about that. I do have the camera set up on the machine, so you can kind of see the back of my head at least. You can kind of see what's going on over there. So I'm going to go over to Aliencell. It's showing the green bar. Console shows that, you know, it's communicating with it. I'll go over here and see if I can move it. Move the laser out into the work area. Okay, so far that works. So now I'm going to open that ornament design again. Let's make sure did I save it a while ago? Yeah. All right. So I know that I've got a bunch of holes in this material. Let me look, see if I got a spot I can put it. Yeah, up near the top. I could probably put it right about there. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, I don't know if y'all will be able to see it or not. So I'm going to hit frame. Whew, that's fast. Hang on, I got to look at it again. It's right there on that line. So I'm going to move it left like 2 or 3 millimeters. Frame it again. All right. So far, so good. Console macros. All right. So now I got to set the focus. Let me get that camera where you can see it better. All right, so let's see if we can set the focus now. I hit the button. It's going over. Doing the probe. It's got to come back. It's got to touch down. Go back. Reset the probe. Come back in the work area. If this is it, that's going to... All right, so my settings are right. All right, here we go. I'm going to hit the start button, and let's see what happens. Well, I'll be... Guys, it could have been that USB cable. But you would think it would have thrown an error in lightburn saying that door not closed. Huh. Maybe they should like fix it to where it would make a noise on the machine or throw back an error. Y'all saw the console. It didn't have an error over there about the door being open or anything. So maybe that's all it is. Maybe they need to add it to where if the door is open, like with a lot of machines, if the door is open, it sends back. Because, you know, usually in console, like if there's a problem, normally, like it'll throw up an error message saying error, whatever, you know, door open or, you know, door not closed or whatever. So maybe that's all it was. Yeah, they should incorporate something. And like I said, I'll if they don't watch this video and do it on their own, I'll recommend that they either have the screen, the console show that. Maybe if I had show all on, we'll see if we can recreate that here in just a second. And I want to see if it's throwing something back. I didn't see it earlier, but we'll see if we can recreate that in a minute. But yeah, so that's working. That's better. Yeah, y'all saw that the door was actually shut. I don't know if, wonder what happened if I opened the door right now. Would it just pause it? Maybe that's why it was just sitting there looking all crazy. Let me see what happens. We raise the door up. I'll be a monkey's uncle. Okay, so it's a little, but now here's the thing though. Over here, now it's saying the lid was open during processing. Processing has been paused. It didn't have that earlier that I saw. I can go back and watch the video, but I did not see that earlier. So maybe it's if the door's open when you hit start, you don't get that warning. I don't know. Let me see if I can. Michael, I'm assuming they're going to do a rotary or a chuck. It will have to be after they release the riser, though, because right now you're not doing much rotary work on it until they get the riser out. So I got to turn my fan back on. So they're going to have to get the riser out before they release a rotary. I can tell you there is a plug inside the work area. And if you didn't watch my video, the last video that I did on the machine, the Aliencell video, go check it out. But there is a plug inside the work area it looks like the old X-Tool rotary plug. Also, like O'Tour is that O'Tour style plug. It does have that in there. So I'm assuming that is to come. They don't have it listed on their website, but yeah. So there it goes. There it goes, guys. You know what we're fixing to do? I'm fixing to throw that cable back under that door. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to move this design over to the other side of that line right there that you see. So we're going to duplicate this so that I know how far I'm moving it. I'm going to move it on the other side of that piece of material to that other material. I'm going to delete that one. Now I'm going to put that camera back in there. And I'm going to put the cable just like I had it earlier. And we're going to see if we can see an error. All right. Oh, the camera's laying way down. All right. So I literally set the camera back in there just like we had it earlier. All right, so let's go down to lightburn. It's not saying anything. So let's go back up to the camera here. I'm going to frame. All right, it framed fine. All right. We'll even set the focus. Let's set the focus. Macro focus. Just going to go over. Drop the pin. Okay, so this is where it's getting hung up. All right, yeah, here's what's happening. So right now it's supposed to be focusing, but it's not. It's just doing this. I've got show all turned on. There's no commands up here. It's not giving me any feedback to what's going on here. So without doing anything, I'm going to raise the lid, take the camera out from in there, and then when I close it, we'll see if it continues to focus like it should be. All right, it didn't focus, it didn't continue, but let's see if I frame now. Oh, it's got it hung up. Yeah, that's got it. That hung it up completely. All right, so definitely seems to be a connection between the cable being under the door. Let me disconnect the machine through lightburn here. I'm just going to change the port to no port selected and then go back to COM3, waiting on it to connect. It says it connected, all that good stuff there. Now let's see if I can run the machine out into the work area. Nope, I'm going to have to. Yeah, I guarantee that's what got it though. Let me power cycle the machine right quick. And I noticed this last time, just now when I put that camera under there, the other corner of the bed, the back of the door kind of raised up just a little bit. So that could be what we got going on. Okay, the machine's doing this little self-homing thing. So all I've changed is I got the same file in the same location. I haven't moved anything other than that cable. So now I'm going to do the same steps that we just did. I'm going to frame first. Let's see if it'll frame. Oh, well, got to reestablish the connection. So I'm going to have to close lightburn. Bring lightburn back. Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just that door. All right, so shows we got it connected, clean connection. I'm going to open, hang on, file, recent projects, ornament. This is the I saved before I closed a while ago. So this is the same file. Frame. All right, that works. Now, what was it we did next? Okay, we did focus next. So I'm going to macro focus. It actually went over a while ago and then set the pin and just got stalled out at the setting the pin. So, okay, so that's further than it made it earlier. So, yeah, apparently that door sensor is causing a problem, but it's not reporting a problem because it seems to be working like it's supposed to now. Yeah, so that's what that's what it's going to be, guys. This is that door sensor. It didn't give us an error message, but I guarantee that I'm going to hit start and see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be that door sensor. Huh. So, if you get this machine, make sure the door's shut all the way. Now you can raise the door up after you start it, and it's uneventful. Like it does. It's not going to cause a big problem because, like right now, it's engraving away, and I can raise the lid. Now it's a little slow, but it does pause, and then when you lower the lid back, and I didn't even really raise it up that much, but we have learned that if the door is ajar when you hit the focusing operation, it's just going to stall out and you're going to have to start everything over. So make sure the door is shut when you hit focus. Whew. Yeah, it seems to be working just fine there. I wonder if I can put the camera back. Let me test something. Let me raise the door. This will let me know. Raise the door. The camera inside. The door is shut, but the camera cable is under the door. It's still paused. So yeah, that's what the deal is. There's a limit switch or magnet or something. I moved the cable around to the front corner of the door. So apparently the limit switch is in the back of that door back there. So I moved the cable toward the front and I heard it beep. The machine physically made a beep when I closed the lid after I moved that cable. And so now You should be able to see it. See where that cable's going in right there? Right here. Watch it. Put it back here. That's what it was, guys. That's what it was. Oh. Well, we've learned something. And like Saber says, I guess buying flat USB cable. This isn't a big cable. Like it's literally, it's just your standard little USB. Like it's like one of these. It's on a webcam, so it's a little bigger than this little guy. But it's just like a standard sized one. What's it doing over there now? It's cutting. Yeah, and that's with no air assist. Because lightburn, like I said, lightburn is not automatically firing the air assist currently. I can turn it on manually. Let me go do that. So by touching the little buttons on the top, I turned it on manually. And you can see the difference in the cut now with the air assist on. So air assist makes a huge difference. If anybody ever tells you it doesn't, you can take a screenshot of this and show it to them. Because the right side of that cut was no air assist, and the left side is air assist. But the thing is, though, I got to go over there now and turn the air assist off. So hopefully they get that resolved. But yeah, let's try one more time. Now that we've figured out the issue, I'm going to replicate this. I'm going to bring it down here, put it there. I'm going to delete that one. Now let's do this again. Let me move that camera back some. Okay, there's a tiny little beep that can be heard when you close the door. If you do not hear that when you close the door, the sensor is not engaged. All right, so that camera's a little high. Yeah, I think that'll work. Well, hang on. Let me change where I put this one. Let me put this one beside that one. That way we can see the camera a little better. There we go. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going through the same steps, but this time I know that the door sensor is not causing a problem. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to frame. So here goes the frame. All right, frame worked fine. I know that we've already set the focus, but just to run through the same steps, I'm going to hit focus again. It's going to go over. It's going to set the pin. Do a little touch off over there on that little, whatever you want to call it. I guess that's kind of like, basically that's your go by over there. Okay. Okay, maybe it's not the cable. I'm going to frame again because it hung up for a moment there. Okay, it must have reset itself. All right. Frame. Yeah, it's still being a little buggy with that macro. Because all I'm doing right here is I'm going to hit focus. Yeah. It's not 100%. It's not 100% the cable, guys. I wonder if I just hit start. What happens if I just hit start? Oh, we don't focus. That's no good. I hit stop and it's not stopping. Okay. Yeah, this is a problem. It's not. It's not stopping. So yeah, there's still some work to be done. All right, that's enough chasing gremlins for tonight, guys. It's no, it wasn't that played because it makes a beeping noise when you open and close the door. I don't know if y'all can't hear it, but it's got a little beep. So when it beeps when you open the door. It beeps when you close the door. It beeped. The door was closed up. Dang chair about to roll away from me. The door was closed all the way. That wasn't the problem. It's just still still some work to be doing. Make sure I'm up to date on my last yeah, okay. And just so you guys know, I'm running version 2.0.05, which is the most recent version of Lightburn. So yeah, there's still some work to be done, but all in all, I'm still, like I said, even running their software, I kind of like their software better for this machine. But the reason is because you get all the benefits of the technology, and I like the remote features. Case in point. There's my 3D printer, and there's a Bigfoot that I've got ordered that I printed while we've been doing this. I like being able to peek in at machines, which my 3D printer is inside the house. And so, that's how I monitor it out here and keep check on it. And so I like the fact that this machine has that capability too. Just like with everybody was, panicking about, Bamboo Labs and all that. I like the creature comforts. You know what I mean? Maybe it does come with some risks or whatever, but I like the bells and whistles a lot of times. Sometimes softwares, like if the machine software is too limiting, like if it's too restrictive, then yes, I don't like that. But as long as I can import from Lightburn files pretty fluid, like we did earlier, I'm good with it. As long as it's like when I bring that SVG in there and it automatically puts it on different colors for me, like red and the black, and it's already layered it out to where I just click the layer and assign the settings. I'm okay with that. So what do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you hadn't already, hit the thumbs up, all that good stuff. Follow, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. But I've had a lot of testing going on this week, guys. I have been testing machines, running machines, trying to figure out where I'm going to put everything, because I like this machine. I like the size of it. There's a lot of things about it I like, but it can't sit right there from now on. And I really don't have any other places big enough for it to fit. So I'm going to have to construct a table or something, which I'd already had plans on making another table for the big 120 that I got from Alencell. But I'm not sure where I'm going to be able to put it, even when I build a table. I'm running out of floor space, guys. I'm busting at the seams over here. So I got to rearrange some stuff. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Is everybody ready to start testing machines now? It'll make you want to grab a hammer and go to hitting some stuff some days, guys. Yeah, Flocky. Like I said, would I be upset if they don't ever get it to where Lightburn is any more capable, compatible with it? Would I be upset? No, as long as their software works like it's supposed to, and I can import files the way that we imported that one tonight and just reassign the settings, I can live with it. That's what I do with Xtool products. I mean, I've already do that with like my S1 that I loved, which basically it's just a bigger version of the S1 in a lot of ways. I never used Lightburn with my S1 because Xtool and Lightburn never could quite get everything to work the way that it needed to. And I lost use of some of the features, just like the red crosshair feature where you can see the crosshair in the software. That alone would probably keep me from using Lightburn to run this machine because I like that feature. I like having that ability. That's really handy. If I were trying to engrave like something right here on this, with that red crosshair, I know that I can move that crosshair to this little spot right here, and then I can say for sure, okay, that's where my laser is, and I can center that graphic and hit send, and I have confidence that it's going to go right there, even without having to frame. So me personally, the red crosshair, having that is very valuable. I like designing files in Lightburn. I don't really care what I send them with. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Vectric. I like designing CNC files in Vectric, but I don't care if I'm using GSender, Candle, Carbide, was it Carbide Create, Carbide Motion. I don't care what software I'm using to send it to the machine necessarily. It's the design tools that in Lightburn is what I'm used to. It's not that the other softwares are bad. It's just what I'm used to. So yeah, it's decent. I'm good with it. I'm thinking that as time goes by, maybe they'll get, with the folks at Lightburn and get it more compatible, but I don't expect the machine to be 100% compatible with Lightburn. Because Lightburn is the engineers at Lightburn aren't going to devote too much time to adapting their software to somebody else's machine unless there's money in it for them. So, and if Aliencell starts really dominating the market, maybe then they would. But look at what they did with the S1. I mean, the S1, to my knowledge, it never got fully compatible. I mean, it got better, and it was a very popular machine. So you got to look at it from a business model for Lightburn. They're not going to spend too much extra time and heartache unless they're making money off of it, whether it's through extra license sales because the machine is so popular, or whether the company themselves says, hey, we'll pay you X number of dollars to make it work. One of those two is going to have to happen before Lightburn is going to devote the resources to making it compatible, because it's really not benefiting them unless they just get a boatload of extra license sales from that particular machine. So yeah, the Tranquil says only fun when you test them. Yeah, it can be, it's fun. I enjoy it. I like puzzles, and so I guess that's why I like testing the machine so much. But I also like in doing it and trying to give you guys a real world understanding of how it's going to work. Because like this live tonight, if this were a recorded video, you could go through and you could snip and you could edit and you could remove some stuff and you could make a machine look really, really good. But that's not realistic. And realistically, every machine I have ever tested that had their own software, especially in the first year or two, there's going to be bugs. It's just going to be there. If somebody tells you that their software is perfect right out of the gate, I would be very careful. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I'd be very careful because there's always going to be things that pop up as a result of a firmware update or an update to the software or whatever. So, but all in all, still pleased with the machine. Their software needs a little polishing, but it's doable. I can run it. I can run this machine with their software and be content with it. Would I be using their software to design? Probably not. I still don't design a whole lot in XCS or Xtool Studio. And it's not that the software can't do it. it's because my level of comfort is with lightburn. So there you go. Duck Wood Design says you can get position in lightburn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could, but to me, I don't know that lightburn would implement the crosshair, and just I don't know that it would be as fluid. I just maybe so. Maybe it would, but with the remote viewing camera, with the camera, with the crosshair pointer, those three things, I don't see all three of those being fully implemented in lightburn. And it's no fault of lightburns; it's not their thing. But anyway, so don't forget, guys, if you haven't already, I know most of you guys are probably going to be there for the Christmas show, but if you're not, don't forget, we're going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff for the Christmas special. We had a couple more companies since I did my last video. We had a couple more companies come online, i.e. we've got Aesmer, Adam Stack, Cadence Manufacturing, Carbide 3D, Lightburn, Sane Smart, Sculpt Fun, and X Tool all participating in our giveaway. Random, some of them have different things that they're going to be given to us for the giveaway. But all totaled, everybody combined, everything that's being given is a little over $6,000. So it's going to be a good time to be in the live. A lot of it is going to be small machines, nothing really, really big. We've got a couple of pretty good sized prizes, a couple of bigger lasers. Let's see who's going to be the two. And I don't want to tell you too much about what they're going to be, but Carbide 3D and Carbide 3D and Adam Stack are going to be giving away some pretty pricey prizes. They're probably, as far as monetary value of combined stuff, they're the two pack leaders at that right now. Both of them are going to be giving away a machine that most of you wouldn't mind having, in my opinion. Carbide is giving away a Shapeoko 4 standard with a trim router, which is a very, very usable CNC for somebody that's looking at getting into CNC. So, yeah, y'all going to want to stick around for that. Whew. You got tired, guys. What time is it? It done got late. But anyway, appreciate you stopping by. I hope this was, entertaining or helpful or whatever the case may be. I don't with these new machines, I like to try to keep you guys up to date with the most accurate and just like realistic, down to earth information you can get. And there's nothing more realistic than seeing the good and the bad. And like I said, I'm not knocking the machine. They have said lightburn compatibility is still a work in progress, and they're getting there. And I think they will get there. Because like I said, I can remember some of the early, like the X Tool S1. I was actually in Lightburn's, I guess you could say, research and development group for the software for compatibility with the S1. And I just, they never could quite get it to where it was as good as the, the X Tool software with it. What's the best way to change a PNG to an STL file? There's some softwares out there that claim they can do that, but I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't had very good luck. A lot of times, if you try to go from a PNG or from a JPEG and change it into like a STL or some type of cloud, it messes the depths all up. Whew. It messes the depth up. But I tell you what, I have been trying around and playing around with. Hang on. And I can't tell y'all and show y'all what I'm using. I was going to do it this weekend, but then I got an email and said, hey, we're pushing back the release of the product until first week of January. So, sorry. But, yeah. This is pretty awesome. This has been fun. This actually will go into my drill and my impact, but it won't lock in because, of course, this is supposed to get like on the real one, that goes up and down, so it lets it snap in. Of course, this one doesn't. I've been tempted to take and cut this off so I could slide it on the impact, but yeah, it's it's wild. This is a 3D scanner. This bottom's kind of crusty. I should have made a bigger raft for it. That's my bad. The bottom, like the text, somehow or another, the text wound up causing some weird stuff on the bottom of it. But yeah, that worked out pretty well. And let me show you this one. Biscuit's a little mad at me. Biscuit found this old bone somewhere in the cow pasture. And so I took Biscuit's old bone because I got a friend of mine that does taxidermy. And so I took Biscuit's old bone and I scanned it. And that's what I wound up doing. And if you look, it done a really good job of the detail. Hang on, we'll get that right. I mean, it works. So what I'm wanting to try to do is try to do a scan of somebody and put it inside one of these crystals that we've been engraving. So we'll see how it works. But yeah. Greg says, are the sites safe to use? That will, there are some, let's see, what's the, if you hadn't asked me, I could have told you. The one that you use to do, there's a couple of sites that are pretty popular that we've used before to do like grayscale layered images. I don't forget the name of the darn site now. I'm having a moment. But there are some out there that I have used. Oh, ImageR. ImageR actually has a site that will do the 3D relief stuff. Supposedly, I've played around with it, but I haven't had a lot of luck with it. But hang on, let me see. ImageR. Hang on a second. Contour. But yeah, ImageR, I can't remember what the name of the website is, but they have another one. This is the image website, but there was another one that I found that like this is where you can take and they do all kinds of different stuff with images. You can stylize them, like you got a cartoon thing that you can put photos in there and it'll turn them into a cartoon or whatever. I know a lot of folks that have used this over the years, and this pop-up just keeps coming back. I know a lot of folks that have used this over the years, and it works out pretty well. But they had another one. It's the same group, I think, but it's for 3D images. So let me see if I can find it. Was it? No, it wasn't GIMP. I'll have to remember where I found it at. But I was playing around with doing some of them to try to use for the 3D scanning and the 3D crystals. And I haven't found one that I'm really, really keen on yet. I will tell you that, hang on, this is different. This is a different topic, but I will tell you that as much as some folks don't like it, the Xtool software has been implementing some tools to where they've got this new AI thing built into it to where it's doing them, but I haven't gotten the look that I want yet. But you can go in here. It costs credits, which is you know, that's another thing that a lot of people ain't happy about because it you have to use your credits to be able to do stuff. But you can create stuff with AI here, as well as there's another tool, and I'll have to figure out where it's at. I don't forgot. But they've got a 3D thing that you can do with it. Maybe it's only on the UV, but they've got a 3D thing that you can do with photos now. And my machine's not turned on, so this isn't going to work. So we'll just have to do it later. But they've got a software, and I tried using the Xtool tool to where you can put an image in there, and it will basically create a depth map, and you can engrave it. And it's pretty neat, but I couldn't get the results that I wanted out of it. It's still a work in progress as far as I'm concerned. Greg, you want to get a copy of you want to get a file of your logo? What does your logo look like? Because depending on your logo, one thing that I will tell you is a lot of your 3D softwares, you can do some pretty basic stuff with some of those. I use Autodesk Fusion to do a lot of my stuff. If your logo is like a black and white logo, that's easy enough. But if you get into like some of these AI created animation looking things, then it can be a little bit of a pain. Our logo for my channel, I have to look at it. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all don't got me going down a rabbit hole now. This is a whole different topic. Let me pull it up. Oh yeah, that picture. I see a picture. Yeah, that would be challenging. Yeah, that would be because what I see is a photo. If you're talking about this photo right here, that would be very challenging to do as far as like being able to extrude that into a 3D image. I can't. I don't know if I'd be able to pull that off. But you do have some basic tools in like Bamboo Studio and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But anyway, but yeah, it's like I said, as far as Aliencell goes, I'm still with them. I'm still pleased with the machine. Lightburn still needs some work, in my opinion, to be fully compatible. Now, limited compatibility, yeah, we're at that point. I'm still having some issues, and like I said, some of that stuff I can't swear that it's not something that's going wrong with my setup or whatever. But y'all saw how it worked, and and all that. So there we are. But I'm gonna let you guys go, and I know we got a couple of lives coming on tonight. I don't want to mess those guys up. I try not to. I try to be a good neighbor with other folks. Let's see who all's going to be live tonight. I'll go ahead and give them a shout out. This on my list here. Let's see what we got going on. I don't know if they're doing theirs tonight. So I thought Rich and them might be doing theirs tonight, but I'm not seeing it. It's not showing schedule. Ryan over at R Ballard Designs should be doing theirs because tonight is Saturday, right? I haven't lost track of days yet, have I? Yeah. Ryan will be doing theirs at 7:55 p.m. tonight. R Ballard, make it up as we go. right over here. This guy here, they'll be doing theirs tonight here in just a little while at 7:55. They do it kind of late, but they're in a different time zone. But anyway, we'll call it quits for today, guys. I'll let y'all have it. I'm going to go do something else. But I just want to kind of share that with you guys and get a little more, answer some more questions about the machine. Like I said, I'm not knocking it. It's still new. Lightburn compatibility is on their, like that's on their list of things they're doing. Are they 100% there yet? Not yet, but they say they're working at it and cooperating with Lightburn, and so we'll see how it goes. But even without full Lightburn compatibility right now, though, like I said, the machine doesn't bother me. Not being able to deploy files using Lightburn is not a concern as long as I can design with it. So, whew. I gotta go get me some more tea. I got sleepy, guys. Till next time, guys, y'all be safe and have a good day. And later.